Our next guest and his team just won a Golden Globe for their work on the stop-motion animated film Missing Link. Take a look.
Laika is a physical, tactile wonderland. It's about artists using their hands to bring something to life and blending that with technologies.
We produced faces unique for every single shot.
Mr. Link is the first puppet that has incorporated a breathing mechanism inside his chest.
We tell our own stories. We have a unique perspective.
When we're doing something that fills me with fear, we're probably doing something that hasn't been done before.
That's right. Missing Link is up for an Oscar for the animation studio Laika. You just saw it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the man himself, Brian McLean, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Let's start with this. Congratulations.
Yes.
This is not a stop-motion piece of art. This is, may I touch it?
Yes, it's very...
This is the Golden Globe, everybody.
Pick it up. It's very heavy.
Let me see. Oh, my goodness. That is, people always say it's heavier than you think. That is heavier than you think it would be. Okay, let me ask you, because I'm obviously never going to win one of these. What is that? Take me to that moment. What's going on in your stomach? What's going on in your head?
Well, I wasn't there.
Okay.
This is the producer's award.
Hear about
oh my God, it was amazing. I saw it on TV, live, and I couldn't believe it. Our producer Ariane Suttner and the director of the film Chris Butler were the ones who went up and accepted the award. And for anyone who saw it live, they were just as flabbergasted as I think everyone else.
Okay, I was going to ask you. Meaning no offense, but did you, in your heart of hearts, you obviously, and we're going to talk about, you pour your heart into something, but did you honestly, as you're sitting there with your Cheetos and corn dip, did you think that you guys had a chance?
We are the underdog. It's the true David and Goliath story. We were up against Toy Story 2. We were up against Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, Lion King, huge films.
You were up against Simba, for heaven's sake.
I know.
Yeah.
And you know, Laika Studios has been making movies for over the last 10 years. This is our 5th film. We've won or been nominated for 5 Oscars. So, you know, we're really excited.
Well, because this is, I am such a fan of because this is art, everybody. This is true art. Can you explain for the folks what exactly is stop motion?
Yes. So stop motion animation is where you have a physical object that an animator is out on set slowly moving that object and taking a picture and then moving it again and taking another picture. And 24 of those pictures equals 1 second of footage.
Okay, let's say that again. 24 individual pictures, 1 second of film. And the typical about an hour and a half of entertainment, right?
Hour and a half of entertainment. And the crazy thing is animators working 40 hours a week, on average, can only produce about 4 seconds of usable footage. Takes us years to make our movies.
Oh my, you're taking a look at some video right here. It really is such a cliche. It is a labor of love.
Absolutely.
It absolutely is. Because you can only move them, Brian, every frame, just a little millimeter,
Tiny
right?
bit, yep. And you can't, depending on the action and depending on what they're doing, animators are literally breathing life into these objects 1 frame at a time. But they have to give them a personality. And not only do they have to make them move in a compelling way, Lionel has a different personality than Link. So he needs to move differently. Link is sort of a lumbering, silly character who sort of has Chaplin-esque comedy routines. And they both have to act and move quite different.
That is amazing. So when you're crafting these characters, do they first appear, do you model them like in a 2D form on paper and then they go to model, or what's the process
The process is we start with 2D drawings, character design. Character designer will sort of have a bunch of different sketches of what the characters potentially will look like. One of those 2D drawings are chosen by the director, and then we go into sculpting. We were actually sculpted out of clay. It's called a maquette. And that's the first time the character is sort of seen as a 3-dimensional object.
Now, Brent, we have in front of the actual model. What are we looking at here?
This is why I'm here.
Okay.
My title is the director of Rapid Prototype. Probably one of the weirdest titles.
That is a heck of a title
in the film industry. But basically, I have the unique job of trying to take this age-old art form of stop-motion animation and fuse it with 21st century 3D printing technology. There's a company here in Eden Prairie called Stratasys.
Okay.
They make 3D printers. We use their 3D printers to produce faces for our characters. And not just single faces, hundreds of thousands of faces.
And first of all, way to go, Eden Prairie.
Yep.
Thank you. Our studios are based here. Now, Brian, what do you mean by different faces? Is it different smiles? Is it different, like, twitching of the nose? What do you mean by that?
Okay, so what we do is we have a technique called replacement animation.
Okay.
And replacement animation is essentially this idea where, in order to get facial animation, the animators will be popping off one face. So I should have warned you. It's a little scary.
That is a little frightening.
It will cause nightmares. Popping off we have the eyebrow and the mouth, and then they will be putting on a different expression. They will be replacing faces 24 times in 1 second. And each face is slightly different than the last. Tiny little incremental movements and changes in the face.
So again, as we just said, so not only are you moving maybe a leg, a toe, an arm, a millimeter, but in that same second, that 1 second of film, you're also manipulating the face as well.
And so when animators are out on set, they have their puppet, and they would have a box of sometimes hundreds of faces. And each
like
face,
the ultimate Lego box.
It really is.
Yeah.
Each face has a number on the back and a code and magnets, so the faces just snap right on in place. But these are all color 3D printed.
Brian,
so they're not hand painted. This is how they come out of the printer.
Okay, now can I ask you, before this, and for people my age, we grew up with this animation, and those watching, you'll be familiar. Think of Empire Strikes Back, the Tauntauns, the AT-ATs. Back then with characters, what did they do for faces? Was it clay or was it different forms?
Sometimes it was done with clay, where they're literally manipulating and sculpting the clay. Sometimes they would have sort of a silicone face. It's called mechanical facial animation. And there's a little metal skeleton on the inside, and the animators are pushing that silicone around. But other times, like, I don't know if anyone's seen Nightmare Before Christmas and
Yes.
Jack Skellington, he was a really good example of replacement animation. He had 800 hand-sculpted faces, and they would literally pop off one head and put on another. So that was really the inspiration for us back on our first movie, Coraline.
Yeah.
Where we had this...
Coraline, yeah. Love that. Love that. I love Coraline.
Well, we looked at Nightmare Before Christmas, and we had the same director who was directing Coraline. His name's Henry Selick, and we thought, how could we take replacement animation and sort of push it to the next level?
And you found this
that's what led
company.
us to 3D printing.
This is incredible. So all of these made in Eden Prairie, all these little faces, just minor, like the little tongue there, and that is crazy. And then are these more, Brian?
These are
right
more
here?
characters from Missing Link. So you can see there's a huge range of color. The machines are really accurate. And we're really unique in the film industry, but we're also really unique in the 3D printing industry for using 3D printers in this way.
How many, different animation houses have several productions going on at one time with different teams? Are you able to, are you guys in production right now with another feature?
We are in sort of pre-production on another feature that we can't talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
I'm not, I don't want you getting in trouble, Brian. I just wanted to know.
Because it takes 3 to 4 years for us to make a movie, we are having to overlap productions.
That is crazy. Yeah. So, are you going to go to the Oscars?
I am not. I'm not this time.
Okay.
We're really excited.
The audience is with you. They're booing the fact that you're not there. Yeah.
So, we're really excited for our chances. It's a true David and Goliath story, like I said before. These are the characters that are in the movie. Unlike a lot of the films that are up, our characters are actually physical things. They're not just made of pixels. So we're really excited.
I love Disney and Pixar as much as the next person. I have a good feeling about this year. I think
fingers crossed.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Brian McLean, everybody from Laika. Missing Link is available on Blu-ray and DVD.